Okay, now we're going to work on tail set number 4. Starting from the back so you can see the throw and the setup a little bit better. From here, you're going to touch knuckles, fighting stance, up! Stepping forward into a back stance. We're going to do a parallel block, open-handed. The first block goes between the wrist and the elbow. Second block goes between the elbow and the shoulder, hitting the bicep. From this position, I grab onto the wrist, grab onto the shoulder. For beginning purposes, we slide up left, step across the leg right. From here, I'm going to pull the right hand towards my left hip. At the same time, I'm pushing my right hand forward, and I'm going to snap into a front stance. So pull, push, and front stance. From this position, I get nice and close, pull up on the arm. Right knee is going to come down into the hip to hold the person in position as I pull the arm across. Elbow up, cock up, snap punch into the armpit. From this position, I'm going to step across left, turning the hands. Right leg comes up, and I'm going to do an axe kick, coming back, key up, and into a fighting stance. Again. Different angle. Touch knuckles. This position. Up. Stepping forward. Block. Block. Into a back stance. Grab. Grab. Slide up for beginning purposes. Step across. Pull. Push. And push into a front stance. Okay. In this position, pull up onto the person's arm. Kneel down into their hip. Pull across. Snap punch to the armpit. Step across. Heel kick. Off! And fighting stance. That's the first part of tail set number 4. Okay, now we're going to do the second part of tail set number 4. In this position, it takes place after the first part of tail set number 4. What you're basically going to do is you're supposed to jump over the other opponent, landing a flying side kick going into the person's stomach. We're going to do it just for safety purposes and the fact that we don't have another person as a phase 1 side kick. In this position, Brian's going to take a charging position, which is basically just his hands up. From here, I'm going to go into a fighting stance. My right leg, I'm going to jump up and hit a phase 1 side kick center pressure point. So from here, I jump up and then step down. From this position, my left hand's going to come across as a hook punch, high pressure point, followed by a right hand parallel punch to the center. My left hand tucks back towards my shoulder. From here, extend out, chopping right into the center of his neck as I pull my right hand back, and then follow through, pulling back, and right hand comes back in. From this position, my hand is going to guide down his arm, grabbing onto his wrist, and reinforcing with both hands. Notice how as I did that, I pulled his body weight down. From this position, I lock onto his wrist, left foot steps underneath his body or underneath his arm, transition the arm over and keep it out in front. From here, I'm going to step back on my right leg, and as I do that, I'm going to continue to hold and pull his elbow right back towards his body, forcing him forward. For safety purposes, Brian's going to work a break fall. So as I step back right, I pull back, he break falls, through. From this position, I'm going to lock up his wrist, step around, apply pressure to his hand, which will roll him onto his stomach. I'm going to put my left knee right into his back, right hand grabs right into the fulcrum of the arm. I'm going to start adding pressure going towards his head. At the same time, I apply pressure with my thumb towards his head with his hand. Again, from this angle, I start from a fighting stance. I'm going to jump up, phase 1 side kick, step down, hook punch, parallel, knife hand, parallel. Hand comes down, guiding the arm down, lock out, bring him forward. Step through left, turn my body, bring it over the top. From here, I step back right, pull back, and bring him forward. Change wrist position, step around his head, add pressure in order to bring him forward. Knee into the back, my finger grabs right into his fulcrum, start to bend the arm, leaning with my body and add pressure on his hands until he taps. And that's the second part of tail set number 4.